Thanks for joining our special live coverage of South Korea's third cabinet meeting of the year. In a moment, President Yoon Suk-yeol will be presiding over the meeting for the first time in the new year. As was the case in his New Year's Day address, Tuesday's meeting is expected to be all about ordering related ministries to speed up taking care of issues related to people's livelihoods and the country's economy. He could also be addressing the heightened tensions here on the Korean Peninsula, followed by North Korea's artillery firings over the weekend. He is likely to order the South Korean military to strengthen its defense posture against all threats coming from the north. And South Korea is also hosting the 2024 Winter Youth Olympics starting next Friday. For the smooth and successful hosting of the event, Yoon will likely order related ministries to ensure full preparations have been made ahead of the occasion. Again, we are waiting for the country's third cabinet meeting of the year to begin. That's about to take place over at the presidential office in Yongsan in a moment. President Yoon Suk-yeol is expected to pledge all-out efforts to improve the livelihoods of South Koreans with continued domestic reforms and export-driven growth. It's highly likely that he will point out escalating tensions here on the Korean Peninsula as well. South Korea announced the end of the 2018 Inter-Korean Military Pact after Pyongyang staged artillery firings all weekend. Now, again, we are waiting for South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol to preside over the third cabinet meeting of the year. Now, this is the first time he'll be presiding the event in the new year 2024. As was the case in his New Year's Day address on January 1st, today's meeting is expected to be all about ordering related ministries to really speed up taking care of issues that are related to people's livelihoods and also the country's economy. Again, he could be also addressing the heightened tensions here on the Korean Peninsula, followed by North Korea's artillery firings over the weekend, and President Yoon is likely to order the South Korean military really ramp up its defense posture against all threats and provocations coming from the north. And to remind you, South Korea is hosting the 2024 Winter Youth Olympics starting next Friday. In order to carry out the event in a smooth and successful manner, President Yoon will likely order all related ministries to ensure full preparations have been made ahead of the occasion. Again, in a moment, we will head over to the presidential office in Yongsan to connect with where President Yoon Suk-yeol will preside over the third cabinet meeting of the year. Although it is the third cabinet meeting of the year, it is the first time that President Yoon Suk-yeol will be presiding over the meeting in the new year 2024. Now, topping the agenda will be looking after all the issues related to the livelihoods of South Koreans, and also to make sure that South Korea's economy is export-driven in the new year. Also, in Tuesday's meeting, President Yoon Suk-yeol could be addressing the heightened tensions here on the Korean Peninsula, followed by North Korea firing artilleries all weekend. Pyongyang staged firing drills for 3 days since last Friday. Now, it looks like the meeting is about to begin. We'll come back afterwards.
Let us begin the cabinet meeting. We are joined by the members of the cabinet who were newly appointed in the new year and are attending the meeting for the first time today. And I would like to ask you to join forces with one another and exert your efforts. For the past 20 months, our government has worked hard to turn the direction of the ship Republic of Korea. Now, we must accelerate the pace of progress even further and make the new year a turning point in the leap of the new Republic of Korea. In this year's New Year's address, I said that we will be a warm government and a government that takes actions centering all national affairs on the people. There are a lot of tasks that the government must quickly resolve, such as stabilizing people's livelihoods, restoring economic vitality, structural reform in the three major areas of labor, education, and pension, responding to declining birth rates, and balanced regional development. It is also important to strengthen security in the face of North Korea's provocations that began in the beginning of the new year and to expand job diplomacy as well. I hope that all ministries will break down their barriers in front of the people and work as one team to resolve the challenges quickly and firmly. Above all, we must make the new year of 2024 the year of restoration of people's livelihoods. The open forum on people's livelihoods that started last week will be the first step. In particular, this year, we have organized the ministries around issues rather than individual ministries so that we can hear directly from the people and find answers together. I urge you to immediately reflect the suggestions in your policies of each ministries and do everything in your powers to make a real difference in people's lives. Starting this year, many new policies that directly benefit the people will be implemented. Starting today, you can easily switch your mortgage loan to more favorable conditions using a mobile app. To further protect the vulnerable, the number of people eligible for the supplemental security income has been increased and the parental benefit has been raised to 1 million won. Nilbom School will also expand to 2,000 elementary schools in the first semester and to all elementary schools in the second semester. In March, the opening of GTX-A between Suseong and Dongtan and the introduction of the K-Pass in May will also reduce the inconvenience of commuting and the burden of transportation costs. Nevertheless, no matter how good a policy is, if people don't know about it and can't benefit from it, it's as good as nothing. We need to think thoroughly about how and where to communicate the information to the public to ensure that it reaches them. The young official in charge of public relations for Chungju City created a YouTube channel called Chung TV to promote policies in a novel and fun way, and the number of subscribers more than doubled the population of Chungju. We need this kind of innovation. Creating and announcing good policies is not the end, but just the beginning. We need to follow through to ensure that the policies work on the ground and that the difference is palpable by the people. At today's cabinet meeting, we will deliberate on 62 bills. The Corporate Revitalization Act, which temporarily helped companies reorganize their business, was converted into a permanent law. And the Individual Debtor Protection Act, which allows borrowers to pay interest only on their overdue loans, has also been enacted. In the past, even if the overdue is only partial, you had to pay the interest for the all. But it was now changed. The Outdoor Advertising Act, which strengthens the management of political party banners, will also be submitted along with the amendment to the enforcement decree. Up to now, there were no restrictions on the placement of political party banners, and indiscriminate placement of banners threaten traffic and traffic safety. In the future, banners will no longer be allowed to be placed that compromise safety, and the number of banners will be limited to 2 per upmyeondong. We hope that the Ministry of the Interior and Safety and local governments will work together to quickly pursue follow-up measures. In 10 days, the Winter Youth Olympic Games will be held in Gangwon-do for the first time in Asia. Future generations participating from around the world will remember Korea through this competition. Please take care of all matters, including accommodation and safety. safety so that people can return home with good memories about Korea. In addition, I ask the organizing committee, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, and Gangwon-do to work together to make thorough preparation so that the tourists and Koreans from all over the world can visit Gangwon-do and enjoy the games. In addition, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism should take special care to ensure that the K-culture can enhance the festivities of the youth. Thank you.
이 시간 이후 의안 심의는 비공개로 진행됩니다.
That was our live coverage of South Korea's third cabinet meeting of the year. If you missed it, though, you can still catch the highlights on our upcoming newscast at 12 p.m. Korea time. Thanks for watching.